Hey, and welcome back to Glance Air Studios, where I help you grow your real estate business. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the hidden fees to real estate. Now, when I jumped into real estate, I had no idea how many different things you have to pay for, either as the buyer or the seller. There are a ton of line items, and I don't even have all of them here. I just have kind of the major ones that you want to look out for, and some of you can even shop around, which is really nice. So let's just jump right into it. Here are some of the things that you're going to find on that HUD statement whenever you go to settlement. One of the things that you're going to pay for is an inspection, okay? You're actually going to pay that out of pocket if you are buying a home. If you elect to get an inspection done, you're going to pay that. Now, I have paid anywhere from $400, like maybe $350, up to $700 on an inspection based off of what you want to have looked at, right? So you can get an inspection, you can get radon inspection, you can check out the sewer system, you can get all of that checked, or you can get a basic inspection, which they just basically walk through the property, tell you if there's an electrical issue, if windows are broken, what needs to be replaced. The nice thing about an inspection, though, that people don't talk about all the time, is if things show up on the inspection, you can then have the seller of that home replace one of the items that is on that inspection list. So what we did was I paid $600 or so for an inspection. Something came up that was $700, and then I had the seller of that house repair it. So I actually made $100 to get the inspection done. Now, so that's just something that you can do to maybe even save money, even though it is a hidden fee. The next thing is getting an appraisal done. Yeah, you actually pay for an appraisal to be done on that property. If you need to get a mortgage on the property, which most people do, that mortgage wants to look and see if the house you're buying is actually worth market value. They don't want to give you a loan on that property if it's worth too much money. So you're actually going to pay for an appraisal. Now, these are things that don't necessarily hit you out of pocket, but all of these tax items right here, city, town tax, county tax, transfer tax, okay? Now, they are going to come out of your pocket, but you are going to pay those when it goes on to settlement, right? So they're just going to wrap all of those costs right into the settlement cost, okay? Now, you're also going to probate these taxes, okay? You only have to pay city, town tax, county tax, and transfer. Well, I'll get the transfer tax. City, town tax, and county tax probated. That means however long you own that property, you're going to pay taxes on. So if you buy it in June, you're only going to pay half the amount of taxes for the year because you owned the house half of the year. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with city, town tax, and county tax. Now, depending on what state you live in, I don't know all the regulations, but in Pennsylvania, there is a 2% transfer tax. Okay, that is when 1% of the buyer and 1% of the seller, they pay the total cost of that house, right? 1% of the total cost of the house. So the transfer tax in Pennsylvania is 2%. If the house is $100,000, the buyer is going to pay 1% and the seller is going to pay 1%, okay? So that's something to look out for, something I did not know about, but it adds up, okay? I bought a triplex that was $300,000. That is $3,000 per side that needs to be paid. The other thing is, you are actually going to be probated on the sewer and trash bills as well. Those are going to show up on the HUD statement. They're not a ton of money, but you want to look out for them. It could be up to $150, $200, maybe even $300, depending on the area, are going to show up on that HUD statement that you're going to pay. And then the other thing here is a title search, okay? They want to make sure that the title search is clean. You want to make sure the title is clean, that the person you're buying the home from doesn't have huge liens on the property, or they don't actually own the home, they're just living in it. They want to make sure that's clean. That costs money. That's not a crazy ton, but you're going to pay for it. That is another thing that just comes out of pocket whenever you get that done. And the last thing is the realtor commissions, okay? If you have a realtor, you're going to pay them 3% of the purchase price. So, and the buyer probably has an agent, so they're going to pay their agent 3%. So you're going to pay 6% of the total purchase price in realtor commissions. So if you live in Pennsylvania and you have a buyer's agent, a seller's agent, that's 3%, and transfer tax, that's another 2%, you're actually going to pay out of pocket 8% of the purchase price just on these things alone. Then you have to add in all the other taxes, the appraisal, the inspection. I mean, it's pretty easy that number could get up above $10,000 to $15,000 to look out for whenever you purchase a home. Now, what I will say, don't let that scare you away from purchasing a property. People do it every single day. You just got to work it into your numbers. You just want to be aware that they are going to be there whenever you purchase the home. So don't let it stop you. Another little tip here that I'll give you. If you are concerned about all of these things, right, that you're going to have to pay at settlement, you can actually ask for something called seller's assist, okay? That is when the seller gives the buyer money out of the purchase price to help them cover these closing costs, right? So let's just say your closing costs were $10,000 total. You could request $3,000 or $4,000 seller's assist in your offer that will help bring that $10,000 out of pocket number down, okay? You can actually request up to 3% seller's assist, and actually, even if it's an FHA, you could request up to 6% seller's assist. So that's something to look out for. It's something that could be a really helpful tip to help you lower these hidden fees when it comes to real estate. Like always, if you wouldn't mind liking this video, and if you're on YouTube, subscribing to this channel because I'll be pumping out content for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.